welcome to the Bob Box. Shredder is a robot that's frequently compared to a tape machine, but it's obviously not that. It was a short, boxy robot with two 10-kilo, counter-rotating horizontal discs spinning at 2,500 RPM, which I can only assume is a bit faster than your average tape machine. It was also purple. I am yet to see a purple tape machine. However, I'd like to show you Shredder's slip. How appropriate the slip is written in purple. Coincidentally, Shredder shares hometown with Scar, namely Leamington Spa, the subject of episode 40 that had big dreams and when its only battle before dying and having to pull out. Scar, that is, not Leamington Spa. Let's see how Shredder, the second robot entered by Team Shredder, fares in Series 5 Heat C, where it made its debut against Series 4 semi-finalist and 20th seed, Mousetrap, a robot armed with a mousetrap. Shredder went on the attack early, looking small compared to Mousetrap, as is its nature, and went for the sides after the 20th seed tried to trap Shredder's discs. Mousetrap did get away and tried to trap Shredder again, but Shredder was too quick for the trap. So Shredder chased Mousetrap, put a hole in the seated robot's back, and pushed it into the pit release there, and reversed into the pit whilst the siren was still going off. I am so glad that it isn't Lent anymore, so I can have a good old facepalm over this. So that's Shredder out of Series 5. However, unlike their previous entry, Manic Mutant, Team Shredder did return for Series 6 with Shredder. It found home in Heat D, facing Spikebot Armadillo, subject of episode 25, Flipper Rhubarb, subject of episode 65, and the robot Shredder would have faced had it beaten Mousetrap. Vertical Flywheel S3. Vertical Spinning Flywheel S3, which was also the 7th seed. Alas, Jonathan had somehow forgotten that Shredder hadn't beaten Mousetrap, and he said they had. Oops. Team Shredder weren't scared of S3 and had tooth guards on their disc with a warning sticker on them that read, "Shredder, mind your fingers." Of course, being in Heat D, the upset of Chaos 2 was mentioned. To take advantage of this, Shredder would have to win its heat. If you've watched episodes 25 and 65, you might have a clue about how well Shredder does. But we'll talk about this fight anyway. That's what we're here for. So, S3 immediately attacked Shredder and removed one of its discs, which flew into the moat. So no audience in danger. Shredder wisely got away from S3, but that just took it out of focus until it opened the Pit of Oblivion. Shredder had learned his lesson from Series 5 though, and didn't drive in. So, Shredder, undeterred, attacked S3 and pushed it into the arena wall, disc first. No surprises, the arena wall broke on contact with that disc. Vandal. Meanwhile, Rhubarb had died. Shredder went after S3 several times, even daring to attack head-on. They tried to send the 7th seed to Mr. Psycho, and actually succeeded, so S3 got hammered a bit for its trouble. Meanwhile, Armadillo had got stuck and was being counted out, but escaped. So Shredder finally let S3 go, and pushed Armadillo into a wall with much less damaging results as time ran out. The judges instantly sent S3 and Shredder through. So next up was Reticle Bar Spinner and Flipper, the alien. Just as a note, Sarah Asplin on Team Desert Storm, the aliens team. She is in the Monsoon team on BattleBots. Shredder had got fixed up. The team said they only took superficial damage and now it had a bandage on. May I remind you all, Disc in Moat. Shredder and the alien danced around each other until they had a head-on collision. Shredder ended up chilling out on the flame pit for a few seconds. It attacked the alien's rear end, but the alien pushed them onto the flame pit again. So Shredder escaped to try and attack the alien, only to get shoved around this time, the exchange from going on the flame pit. The alien had just dodged Shunt, though Shredder's weapon had gone down. Then the alien's weapon went down. So, Shredder did some pushing, sending the alien to the flame pit. However, the alien could push back and did so before opening the pit. Shredder then got pushed into the corner by the alien, but when Shunt showed up, the alien got axed first. Shredder got axed too. That makes it all fair, right? Jonathan then finally remembered that Mousetrap had beaten Shredder, not vice versa, whilst the double spinner pushed the alien around. So the alien got sent to Shunt, where it got axed a few times. Shredder got axed, but Shunt's axe did nothing. Shredder got 2 more hits in on the alien before time ran out. The crowd reckoned that the alien had won, but the judges went for Shredder. Cue a big "What?" and a very smug Shredder diver. Yeah, I saw the Mousetrap fight, guys. And next for them was S3. Remember what happened last time they crossed paths? Oh yes, Disc in Moat. So Shredder got hit a few times by S3 in the final, but managed to push S3 into a wall and unleash the Disc of Doom. Funny, I thought the Disc of Doom was attached to Hypnodisc. The arena spinner caused Shredder more trouble than it did S3 because it got stuck there, leaving Shredder a sitting duck for S3 to attack. The attacks freed Shredder though. S3 then rendered Shredder's disc bent and inoperable, but still attached to Shredder and not chilling out in the moat. The action shifted close to the flame pit, where they got stuck upside down by one of S3's many attacks. They got hit a lot before ending up upside down, and were counted out. Incidentally, Team Shredder had crossed out Shredder as written on their robot as the robot's name, and wrote Shredded instead. Obviously a mid-series rename. So Killot picked up Shredder, span it round, nearly overbalanced, and eventually put Shredder down the arena floor, right way up. And Shredder could move again. So Killot had taken the double spinner close to the pit and nearly drove in. S3 hit Shredder one last time, and whilst running away from Shunt, drove into the pit. See, that's how it's done, Saki. It was revealed afterwards that a piece of Shredder armour had hit the ceiling. That obviously didn't save Shredder, it was out. So, on to Series 7, where it changed quite a bit. I mean, still the same format, but the discs now went at 1500 RPM It was silver, more compact, and called Shredder Evolution. Shredder had evolved. Before it made an appearance in its Series 7 heat, Shredder Evolution made an appearance in the exhibition called Spin City, the Battle of the Spinners, against Vertical Disc Spinner Infernal Contraption and Full Body Drum Spinner Barbarous 2 and a bit. For those who have forgotten, Infernal Contraption was the subject of episode 36. So, Jane, the new Pits reporter, became the first person, and to date the only person, not to compare Shredder to a tape machine, instead electing to compare it to a record deck. Shredder Evolution's first target was Infernal Contraption, which it buffeted repeatedly until something came off. Shredder Evolution sent Infernal Contraption to Mr. Psycho via more buffeting, only to be attacked by Barbarous 2 and a bit. So Shredder Evolution attacked back until eventually opening the pit. Barbarous 2 and a bit ended up with Mr. Psycho 2 thanks to Shredder Evolution. Well, you can't let Infernal Contraption be all on its own. However, when Mr. Psycho turned around, it was the full body drum spinner that got sent into the pit of oblivion. Infernal Contraption escaped, but was now barely alive, and Shredder Evolution's weapons were down. Infernal Contraption got counted out, picked up by Mr. Psycho, toasted over the flame pit, and pitted in the pit of oblivion. So Shredder Evolution won Spin City. Next fight for Shredder Evolution was its Series 5 fight against Front Hinge Track Flipper Tracks, Axport the Steel Avenger, and Subversion 1.1, which had tiny cutting discs of the vertical kind. So, no danger of anyone taking any lessons from the newly retired S3 then. And yes, the Steel Avenger was the subject of episode 39, and Subversion 1.1 was the subject of episode 50. Shredder Evolution targeted Subversion 1.1 and managed to cause some damage. Superficial, sadly. The only reason why it didn't cause more damage was because the Steel Avenger targeted them. It escaped though, and sped away, and out of focus. Until, that is, it attacked Subversion 1.1 again, and got axed by the Steel Avenger again. Axed and pushed onto the flame pit, where the Steel Avenger cooked it. The Steel Avenger let go, but it took a long time for it to leave the flame pit and have another go at Subversion 1.1. Of course, the Steel Avenger axed it again. Shredder Evolution hit the Steel Avenger for good measure, and at the last second, Trax shoved Subversion 1.1 into the pit. So the judges were called in for the other three, and Shredder Evolution went out because it got cooked. Shredder Evolution did have the odd post-Series 7 fight, but it does have a share in the blame for Spinners getting banned at the live event after sending armor flying. Team Shredder would go on to write a lot of FRA safety and build rules. They also planned a successor, Shredder Evolution, that had 4 discs. Yikes. Shredder Evolution definitely had the potential to make the semis, but the discs were too easily damaged and fell victim to S3 very quickly. It's a real shame we only saw glimpses of its potential. The team do get points for renaming Shredder Shredded during Series 6 though. So, who's next? After 4 smears in a row, will we get a 5th? We've got this one here. It's Mega Mouse, which is not a spinner, though it did fight one. Until next week, Carlson244 out.